Has his own story, but you never know that's what he has been experiencing before or in the past.
And what one young man has experienced is more than some people do in a lifetime. And now, after coming to the U.S. as a refugee from Eastern Africa, he's thriving with his education and helping others affected by international disasters. Our Janice Allen has his story.
Didas Mbonye was 19 years old when he came to the States after spending his formidable years in a refugee camp. Now, nearly 3 years later, he's using his experience to help others in similar situations.
If I had to say one sentence to describe myself, I'd say I'm an affiliated agent for social, political, and economic positive changes. Not just changes, but positive changes.
Didas Mbonye is from the Congo and was raised in Tanzania. His memories of the African countries are vastly different than a typical childhood here in the U.S.
Like, I was born in a refugee camp, but they were the one that's kind of like sees everything. And so I think, yeah, there is, we just hear from them speaking, like people get slaughtered and like, you know, yeah, it's just war. So people, they had to escape. We've been there for more than 20 years.
The Congo has seen ongoing violence for years, with more than 6 million deaths there since 1996. That's according to the Council on Foreign Relations, with millions more displaced.
There are a lot of families, and there is even thousands and thousands of families in the refugee camp. It wasn't funny because, you know, life in a refugee camp, like you feel like you're not home, you're not safe and stuff like that. There is a lot of rules and a lot of restrictions, like you can't raise animals, you can't do this, you can't do this. So there's a lot of restrictions. And
while enduring the hardships of living in a refugee camp with his family, Didas made it a point to get an education and even did an internship in Tanzania, focusing on areas of gender-based violence and women's empowerment. All this while waiting to come to America.
When our process of coming to the U.S. started, it took almost more than 5 years until we come here. So it wasn't easy.
In August 2020, at the age of 19, Didas arrived in the U.S., already with his high school diploma, but ended up having to finish a couple of credits at Lighthouse Academy. Eventually, his family was put in touch with the Refugee Education Center in Kentwood.
You know, refugee children are often coming here with maybe they've stopped out of education for part of the time, or their educational experience is just really different than the U.S. system. Their families are really, it's very, very important to their families that they are successful in their academics.
One day I saw people come to my house and like starting asking me about educations and stuff like that. So I think that's when I met with Rec Center.
Didas has been a student of ours through our Graduate and Grow program, and he has just become so successful.
That success has included attending Grand Rapids Community College, where he's been studying international relations, with plans to go to Grand Valley in the fall for his bachelor's degree.
So I think education is really, really cool because it's kind of like open your eyes to do more than you thought.
And Didas, who is fluent in 4 languages.
I speak French, Swahili, English, and Kibembe.
Is using his speaking skills to help others.
Thank you for calling the Didas Language Facility. What can I assist you? Actually, the founder and chief executive officer at the Didas Language Facility, and we are here like just to make sure we bridge those culture and language or linguistic barriers between, like that's we have within our community.
The Didas Language Facility in Grand Rapids helps people new to America with translation needs and settling into life in Michigan.
Because I have the heart to save my community, that's why I started like Let's Save.
All while showing the world the importance of giving chances.
Refugees sometimes people think like they don't know what they're doing. Probably they just don't understand what's going on, but they're smart. We have people who can do things and we can get things done.
DDoS's work towards helping others doesn't end there. He's also volunteered as an interpreter at the Secretary of State, where he has helped people get a driver's license. And he was also selected for the National Leadership Youth Council for Refugees and Newcomers. For more information on the DDoS language facility, look for this story at fox17online.com. In the studio, I'm Janice Allen, Fox 17 News.
The Refugee Education Center was founded in 2006. They focus on helping with not only educational needs, but also helping get refugees settled in the community. They currently have 10 refugee navigators with their team who altogether speak 20 different languages. Those with the center say it's important to recognize what other cultures can bring to your own.
We want to promote the fact that having refugees in our community just makes us a richer community. It makes us more interesting. We get to experience other cultures, what they bring from their country around food and art, and a perspective that might be different from ours. It certainly is different. Lived experience that's certainly different. And so, our hope is that our community, our West Michigan community, joins us in making West Michigan a welcoming place of belonging that's nurturing and allows refugees and their children to thrive.
The center says 80% of K-12 students enrolled with its programs have increased at least one letter in grade in one or more subjects. Over the years, the center says it served around 8,000 people.